To the snail darter. Alphabetical order, Gavin MacLeod.
Thank you. Nice to see you, old dog, you.
Robert Reed. Connie Stevens. And the star of Scruples, the lioness of that miniseries Scruples, Miss Lindsay Wagner. Those are photographs from the show Scruples, which is a miniseries on CBS, and I'm here with Lindsay Wagner and Gavin MacLeod and Robert Reed and Connie Stevens and
Irving Kakalaka.
Oh, he's back with us again.
My cousin on my mother's side.
Yeah, on your mother's side?
Yeah.
Argentinian lady.
No,
Pure-
Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakian. You have a Czechoslovakian
Why
accent.
not?
I know. You would fit right into this script. Do you know? I want to tell you something. You know how Warner Brothers describes that show? It's a mini-series, in case you just tuned in, and it's on February the 25th, and it's a 2-hour segment going to debut on CBS at 9 o'clock.
2 hours for 3 nights.
For
Is it
3
three
nights.
consecutive nights?
Yeah, 3 consecutive nights. Warner Brothers says it is raw sexuality, the need, the insatiable drives of the world's most beautiful people.
Lindsay.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Do you agree with that assessment?
Of the world's most beautiful people? Sure.
No, and the raw sexuality, and don't forget the good part.
Well, I think, you really want to know?
Certainly.
Okay. I think that that's partially true. But I think that's more true of the book than the story we shot, to tell you the truth. We focused more on, I would say, sensuality. Certain parts of it could be considered, sexually titillating.
Yes. Fernando's
Yes,
word.
yes.
We won't let him say it anymore.
But the sensuality and the friendship between the people and the non-friendship between some of the people. Connie and I kind of make eyes at each other all the time.
Yeah.
And basically the book was focused towards that kind of a response, that kind of a response. And the movie is really about the evolution of a woman and the people that then enter her life little by little.
Well, it is, I'm sure the television movie or even a movie on the big screen couldn't be as explicit, and there's no reason to be. I somehow think implied sensuality is much more interesting than flaunted
Oh, yeah.
sexuality, I suppose.
We did have a stack of notes like this from the censor that was bigger than the 6-hour script when we started.
Do me a favor, just model. That's something that...
That's pretty.
that
You know how
wear.
much I charge for modeling?
Yeah.
What?
Well, no, listen, whatever it is on this show, you know what the fee is.
Very pretty.
Spare no expense. Look at that.
Picture?
Yeah, but
Another one. I had 40,000
Oh, let me tell you
dresses.
something. She wears
89
that.
changes.
Yeah, she wears something like that, and it's absolutely gorgeous as it gets a hand. If I wear it, it looks like I put a cape on over a pair of slacks. But with Lindsay wearing it, it looks
Oh,
like
tell me
something
about it.
else.
My legs are this long.
We were talking about that. No, they're longer. They're about
Who's
that.
that?
No, but she plays Billy Eichhorn, who is a lady with big bucks, 200 million.
Big, oh.
Bucks, I said. I told you this is implied sensuality too.
Maybe you're right about this show. I don't know.
Dream a little, don't you?
No.
But you're pleased with the show.
I think so. Yes, I haven't seen it. We got to see dailies, and I've only seen a rough cut of the first part.
Yeah, it's hard till you see the whole
But
thing together.
as for The acting, I'm very, very happy with everybody's performance. That I did get to see. I went to the dailies every day, so I got to see what we shot.
Yeah.
Now it's a matter of what they put together.
Yeah.
And that's another element that's laid on top of a film, of course, when you make it, that you can't really say what you think about it till you see it.
No.
But I think...
But you did Bionic Woman, and you got won an Emmy, and you did Meg Laurel, which I thought was a beautiful television play. You were nominated for that.
I was happy with that.
And Scruples is, again, a television project. Very expensive one. They spared no expense. Do you want to move on to the big screen?
I am, as a matter of fact.
Are you?
Yeah. In about 3 weeks, I'm leaving to do Sylvester Stallone's new film. And,
Well... That's not going to make anything but money.
Oh, I hope so.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Well, Connie, that you glare at most of the time in the picture, plays a combination.
Only in the
character.
picture.
The way that's right. Well, she's a dog. But it's a combination of, in the book it's described as Barbara Walters and a little touch of Rona Barrett.
Yeah, I threw in a little Dick Maurice.
He did. You patterned the role after...
Oh, several of the columnists, and sort of stretched the fact a little bit, but I tried to not be too much on the money. You know, I did a little bit of that and then backed off so that she'd have some kind of dimension, you know, so she wouldn't be so what we think they are, you know, and quite vulnerable. And it's very sad, actually, you know. She's an extrovert only when she's on.
When the lights come
on. And then as soon as somebody walks by, I mean, if anybody gave her another comeback, she would fade.
Yeah.
And I played that part of it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting for me because
Sure.
they've never really been, although I have a lot of friends in the press, they've never been my favorite people. I'm so private.
Yeah.
And to get to play a role like that, I enjoyed that.
Sure.
I really did.
And Gavin plays somebody entirely different from Captain.
I really did. He's sort of
More
the
like
antithesis,
himself.
more like the real man.
Yeah. Who are you?
You play a dirty old man in
A
it?
dirty old man.
Guys like you.
He was trying to get me to wear a half piece, but I refused.
yeah.
I said, he's really dirty.
You play a dirty old man?
Well, he's not that old. Come on, you guys. I mean,
A
he's
dirty old
around
man
my
can be
age.
19, depending on what his idea.
Yeah, well, but you talked about raw sexuality.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was not in any of those scenes. Though that's why he was a dirty old man, because he never got any raw sexuality. What he was, he was,
You had a good bedroom scene.
Yeah. Well, I tried to do something in that scene with you, but I'm sure that's going to be deleted.
You play a Hollywood.
My luck.
He does. No, it'll be
You know, Murray Slaughter and the Captain were they're two nice kind of people
right.
that I've been doing for 10 years now, and thank God for that. And so this came along, and it really intrigued me because these are the kind of things I did pre-Mary Tyler Moore days. When Bob Blake and I were on the last time,
right, and
we
you played-
discussed our careers before we sort of became successful for the masses. And I sort of made a living playing
Heavies.
pimps, perverts, and something else that starts with a P. I forget. Anyway, not pretty boys. So this was another shot to do. For me to sort of get it off playing another kind of a character again. And he is, I found him intriguing. He's an unscrupulous producer who worked his way up, married for money, married for position, deals with a woman he tolerates, as I see a lot of that in the world, merely for security of position. He is a man who knows how to put deals together. He puts them together. He tries to sabotage her picture in order to maintain control of his situation in his life.
He's falling into the character. Look, his
He's
eyes
just gnarling it out, right?
Yes.
Well, that's a Pisces quality, you know. You become who you're with. No, you become who you play. Anyway, actors always do
I mean,
that.
a rotten person.
A rotten mother.
Producer, yes.
No, he was a special producer because I know a lot of producers and I work with them and they're
Yeah.
terrific guys. This guy,
But he's not Aaron Spelling. Let's put it
no,
that way. That's a
not
dog.
Aaron, or Grant Tinker, or Doug Kramer. Those
Yeah,
are nice
that's right.
people. This is a different kind of guy,
different kind
and
of
that's
guy.
one reason I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And to work with Lindsay and all the gifted actors in this piece really is very special.
Well, you got one over there.
One of the best
Oh.
Yeah.
actors in the business today.
I agree.
And the wonderful thing is, every time I tell him, he says, I didn't know that.
Gee, I didn't know that. I'm so glad you're here.
We
I didn't
rehearsed
know it
this
till we worked
backstage.
together.
I've
No,
got
but-
things to say about him a little later on.
No, but you know something, going from the Brady Bunch to the role you did in Roots, and Rich Man, Poor Man, of course. But in Roots, that was diametrically opposite from the Brady Bunch, I would say, about as far as anything you could do.
It's pretty far away from that.
But now that's a mini-series form, and this Scruples is a mini-series form, I would say.
Yeah.
Do you like that, or did you like this?
Sure, I love it. First of all, you have, everybody here will bear me out, I'm sure you have more time to work on it, generally. Have a little rehearsal. It's almost unheard of in episodic television today. So you can do a little better, or you have a chance of being better at it, I think, than you do in shorter pieces.
And you like to work.
I'm very uncomfortable when I don't.
Yeah.
You know, it's the actor's syndrome. You don't think you're ever going to work again.
Yeah.
Always knows his lines. I can't stand it.
Isn't that great? We'll be right back. We're here with Lindsay Wagner and Connie Stevens and Gavin MacLeod and Robert Reed and, of course, the great Fernando Lamas. And we are dealing with the miniseries, which is on CBS 3 consecutive nights beginning February the 25th at 9 o'clock. And the name of the movie is Scruples. It's a mini movie. We asked our audience, and I thought from time to time I'd read some of their answers. Fernando and I did a few. We said, please define the word scruples. And this lady or gentleman said, all the ingredients to make fancy pastries. We know that Scruples is a story of money and possessions, and from time to time we send our cameras out on the street to talk to various people about their possessions or about any particular subject. This happens to be about their proudest possession. Let's hear their answers. That's interesting. From my airplane, I love that.
If I had one, I'd say the same
Yeah,
thing.
they just flipped right out, didn't they?
Especially in
Well, why
editing.
don't we complete the survey? What do you think is the most important asset you have? You, Lindsay, my darling. You.
Well, now, important or what's the term?
Yeah, well, you see,
Indispensable or whatever.
it's funny because they said possessions. I don't think they can be people at all. I don't think you can possess people. It would bother me. I would say that maybe a treasure.
My
but,
dog.
Your dog, yeah. Yeah, that's your dog?
Or I would say probably the ring my mother gave me, and perhaps the one my grandmother gave me when she died. Very, very special.
Yeah.
It's not just because it's a pretty diamond ring, but it's with the letter that came with it. It's very special.
That's, yeah.
How about little Connie here?
Yeah.
Well, my children are the most important possession I have. I've got a husky, though. I've got a husky puppy that I'm crazy about. My boobs, my... Rowdy crowd over there. My favorite kind.
I think it's nice that you're crazy about your own boobs. I think you have all the right in the world to be
I just
that.
wanted to see if you were paying attention.
I am paying attention. Now, listen, I have to ask you something. Next to children, what is your most important possession?
My most important possession?
Yes.
Connie named mine. Gee whiz. That's taken. I don't know.
You have a husky puppy, too.
I don't have a husky puppy, no.
Just husky
it's
voice.
It's very hard to name one thing that really, that is a... If you want to be really serious about it, the most precious thing, most treasured thing I have is good health.
I was just going to say that. That was my...
I feel so good. I treasure that. More than anything.
Gavin, how about you?
Let me see. I think probably one of my most treasured possessions, one I've had the longest, is my first hairpiece. There is no doubt about that. I've had it since I was 18, and that guy is still crawling around. No,
I'll tell you
really,
something.
You didn't have the same
But
one?
you see-
He must look
don't
like
wear it
a
anymore.
cat by now.
It's like a little
How can it? It's never
postage
been
stamp,
worn.
but you can. But bottom lining it, really, possessions to me, in a fire they can go, in an earthquake they can go. I try not to become too close to them, though I love some of the paintings we have. And the thing that means the most to me, truthfully, is the love and the understanding I get from my wife, my children, and my friends.
Yeah.
That's something that an earthquake or fire can't take away, and that's really what I treasure, and I thank God for every day.
Right.
Sure. Yeah,
have to say that. I mean, what else
She's
is
talking, she didn't even hear it.
Bob, how about you?
My boobs.
Yes. All three of them, yes.
You got me off the track there for a second.
Yes.
I don't know, we're all old enough to, I guess, to gathered lots of possessions and things around, things that give you pleasure. Like Gavin, I have a painting that when I pass, every time I pass, I get joy out of it. There's an old piano that's been around since, 100 years ago that lots of adoring fingers have played out. That means a lot to me. A family album with photographs in it.
Yes,
That means the children's photographs and the family.
Yeah, sure, and uncles and aunts, great-grandparents. Well, I'm a little like Gavin, I think. I don't think I'm that possession-oriented, so that I hope, anyway, that if it was all taken away tomorrow, that I'd loathe the loss of it for sure, and I'd be grateful I had it, but I hope I could go on and function very well without all those things. Now, when you're talking about people, that's something else again.
Yeah. Right.
It's interesting what people would run away with after the last big fire.
Yes, I laughed
There
at
was a
myself.
lady that ran down the street and it was right on the news, and she was screaming at the top of her lungs, and she was running down the street with her hair dryer, with the cord dangling.
Well, I wouldn't want to be caught
It's out
without
of
my hair
fear.
dryer. I didn't find out about yours besides the
Sense of
fact.
humor.
Sense of humor.
Because sense of humor, even if your health is not too good, it will always be better if you have humor.
You're right.
That's true.
Your work is better.
Well, we gotta get you there. I'm gonna get you. We're with the cast of Scruples, and we asked members of the audience from time to time. I thought I'd read one. This is another one, a definition of the word scruples: no upbringing. That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
Now, we're missing one important member of the cast, Barry Bostwick. He's tied up shooting another film, and he's quite good, and I hear he plays Spider.
Sensational in it.
Well, he's so good in anything he
Fantastic.
does.
Yeah.
This is really, I think, very different from what he's done on film before. And I think you're just going to see a whole new, exciting actor.
Well, tell us
just
what sort of
popping out
person
again.
Spider is and
He's
the role he
a
plays.
lover boy. He's as cute as he can be. He's got blonde hair and whole big head of blonde hair.
Yeah.
And he's probably the sexiest thing in the whole film. He's the one that carries that whole attitude around with him all the time.
Yeah.
And he's funny and witty, and his timing, his comedic timing is just brilliant. And his little visual things that he does with his face. He can just walk in and say hello and do something bizarre with the line. That one scene, I
We
think
did
you
a
may have
scene,
that
and
clip
we
here.
could have gone in a whole other direction. And I just decided to go where I'm comfortable, and it kind of got a little funny, and he just went right with it and just taught me, it was great.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, I love
somebody
it.
that flexible. He was on the show once, and we were absolutely captivated by him. He's funny, charming, and he's a marvelous dancer, too. He did a dance routine in a
I'm a movie. I mean, he was just outstanding. But he came from Greece. He's another one of those incredible young talents from Greece.
Robert Bridegroom, he did, too.
That's right.
He was
I
up for a
did.
Tony for that.
Yeah.
I didn't know he came from Greece.
Yeah.
Well. Oh, G-R-E-A-S.
Yeah.
G-R-E-A-S.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Not Turkey and Greece.
We have a film clip, Lindsay. Tell us about this one. Do you know which one this is?
I think, if it's the, yes.
Good.
This is in her evolution, Billie Jean Eichhorn. By this time, she has married very young. She's about 20. When you see it, you remember she's 23, 24 by this time, and marries a much older man than herself. And she's just come in, and the doctor has left the apartment, and he's also very, very wealthy.
The doctor? That's who she
No,
married?
no. The doctor has just left the apartment as she's coming in to see her husband.
I see.
And she wonders why the doctor's there, and she comes in the beginning of the scene, which you won't see, she comes in and she wraps her arms around him, and she's hugging him, and she's saying, the doctor says you're a phenomenon. And he said, yes, but he said it puts one in mind of a shooting star, brilliant for a while, but then is gone. And she says, oh, no, I don't talk like that. And the scene then continues.
This is from Scruples.
Puts one in mind of a shooting star. Brilliant for a time, but then it burns itself out.
Stop it.
Calendar fact.
Phyllis, let's not go. Let's just cancel the trip. We'll stay home, cuddle up in the apartment.
Disappoint all of Paris? Not to mention your friend, Madame de Verdurac?
Yes. Please. For me.
All right.
Wouldn't want to live without you, darling.
Oh, want to or not, you're going to have to. Someday. Come on. You'd like me to be sitting up in MacLeod, approving and applauding, wouldn't you? Instead of regretting? Billy. You're a very rich woman in your own right now. You'll be even richer after I die.
I don't care.
Don't interrupt. You'll be tempting to some men for the wrong reasons. But when the right one comes along, you'll know it. Inside you. You'll know it in your heart, in your mind. And...
I already know it.
Good. Then you'll know what you're looking for. But until you find it, keep busy with something you enjoy. Something you're good at.
Other than sex with you, I don't know what that would be.
Fashion, perhaps. You got class, kid. I've already been examined.
Not by me. And not today.
Woman, have you no scruples?
Not a one.
Coming up, Rodeo Drive surprise from our people watcher Ken Minion.
Very stoic and...
They're filling me in on the plot of Scruples and how the different twists and turns that the television movie makes that are different from the book, really. A little different. Implied sensuality, sexuality. And it deals with the most successful shop, most expensive shop, fashion boutique ever put in Beverly Hills and right on Rodeo Drive, which has a lot of fascinating people. We have a gentleman who is a people watcher and spends his time looking for unusual and offbeat stories. And I understand he's found some that relate to the Rodeo Drive good life. Please welcome our people watcher who's with the people, Mr. Ken Minyard.
There's a whole new meaning to the term treasure chest. Connie. No, that's really, I'm sorry. I apologize for that. Rodeo Drive. We're going to talk about Rodeo Drive.
Who are the sexy stars of today? Find out with writer-columnist Richard Hack.
And they haven't even heard it yet. I mean, wait till you hear it, and I mean, really. Well, we're talking about the television movie, Scruples, which runs for 3 consecutive nights. And Scruples takes place on Rodeo Drive. And what you need on Rodeo Drive is a large amount of money.
That's true,
Yes.
of which I have none of. How about you?
Not too much. No, I went shopping on Rodeo Drive, just brought a billfold. No, but that's what this whole thing deals with, what you need on Rodeo Drive. Money.
Are you ready?
Nobody loves you when you're down and out.
In your pocket, not one penny, and your friends, you haven't any.
But when you get back on your feet again, everybody is your long-lost friend.
That's right. It's mighty strange, without a doubt. Nobody loves you when you're down and
Money, 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 money. Money makes the world go around, the world go around, the world go around. Money makes night's entertainment you can pay for a gay escapade.
If you happen to be rich and alone and you need a companion, you can ring ting-a-ling for the maid.
If you happen to be rich and you're left by your lover, you can go your moan and groan all you like.
You can take it on the chin, call a cab, and begin to recover on your 18-carat yacht.
Money makes the world go around, the world go around, the world go around. Money makes the world go around, of that you can be sure. That's to being poor. Money, 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 money.
When you haven't any coal in the stove and you freeze in the winter and you're cursed with the wind at your feet.
When you haven't any shoes on your feet and your coat's thin as paper and you look 30 pounds underweight.
When you go to a word of advice from your fat little pastor, he will tell you to love evermore.
But when hunger comes a rat-tat at the window, then goes love, love flies out the door. Money makes the world go around, the world go around, the world go around. Money makes the world go around, that clinking, clanking sound.
When your money goes out the door.
Promotional consideration for plenty.
Richard Hack is a television columnist for the very powerful Hollywood trade paper, The Hollywood Reporter. Never miss it, having my coffee every morning. His daily column is also syndicated in 165 papers around the country. This is his very first visit with us today, and I'm delighted he's here. Please welcome Richard Hack. Yes, the whole thing. Oh, they're going to love you. Chi-Chi is going to love you. You've seen Scruples, and you promised to give us an unbiased opinion.
Before we get into that, Ken was talking about Rodeo Drive, and I had such a Rodeo Drive experience today. I've got to tell you what happened.
Oh, please.
Getting this shirt. I went to get the ambiance of Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
And so I went and looked for a shirt, and I found this one on the shelf, and I took it to the little girl at the cash register, and she said, $80, please.
Oh, come on.
I tried to look very mature, and I said, $80? And she said, well, after all, sir, this is 100% cotton. And
You remember.
No, I said, well, do you have anything in permanent press? You see, because I have a Spanish cleaning lady, and I don't know how to say, iron this cotton shirt in Spanish. So the woman looked at me and she says, plancha el camisa de cotton por favor, and that'll be enough. But wait a minute. There's more. No, there's more to this. There's more to this. So I take the shirt home, and I go to Senorita Juanita, my cleaning lady, and I say, plancha el camisa de cotton por favor. And she burst into tears and ran into her bedroom. And if I said anything wrong, Senorita Juanita, I mean, forgive me. But, so I ironed it myself, and that's the good life in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
What can I tell you? How did I do?
You did very well.
Very good, and your Spanish is not too bad either.
Now, how do we say that? What did I say to her?
Plancha la camisa, por favor.
Yeah, you said, please press my
That's what you said.
Maybe she doesn't do laundry.
She doesn't want to.
That's it.
That's it.
Laundry and windows, out.
She does windows, but no laundry.
Scruples.
Yeah.
I didn't ask the girl at the desk if she read Scruples. That's probably my mistake.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you were to critique, gotta use real words, Fernando, if you're gonna do a talk show. If you
Take
were
your
gonna
time.
critique
Deep breath and then say it.
the film, what would you say?
You wanted to critique the Scruples?
Yes.
Well, you know, I've only seen, this thing is still wet. It's such a new project. No one's really seen it, but I did sit on some of the scoring sessions of the movie, and they're using all these violins and harps. It's wonderful. And the book, for those of you who have read this book, this 6-hour version is about 200% better, and that is no fluff, because what they've done is they've taken a lot of the sex, which was very explicit in the book, for those of you who've read it, and usually you read it in bed, this kind of book, and they've made it into a very suggestive type situation where you don't actually see much. Yeah, that's it, subtle. And they've given the characters some soul. And in 6 hours, in addition, Lindsay Wagner changes his clothes 76 times.
Yeah.
Now,
89.
oh, 89.
89.
Well, you lose count when you only see
You met Lindsay at a press party and you choked on a fly? What?
What? Oh.
Where?
Well,
I heard this is a funny story.
Actually, no, wait.
This is almost as funny as the
likely story.
You gotta hear this.
What is? No, wait.
Well, you shouldn't tell me everything if you don't want me to.
I went to a
Richard,
press
if you don't
party
want me to tell him, you shouldn't tell me before the show.
I went to a press party for Lindsay Wagner and Scruples, and they have this huge chandelier that was originally used in My Fair Lady as the center chandelier piece on this boutique Scruples, and she was standing under it, perfectly lit, and I had just interviewed John Travolta earlier in the day.
Yeah.
Now, some of that rubs off on you, so I sort of did my John Travolta strut right up the steps under the chandelier, and I was introduced to Lindsay, and I looked her right in the eye and said, "I think you're hot." And she looked right back at me and she said, "And?" And I sort of didn't know what to say, so I opened my mouth to say anything, and this huge, the biggest fly in Burbank flew right in my mouth.
Some of the audience participants on Dinah and
Tony did his
Thank you, all the group from Scruples. February the 25th, you'll get a chance to see it on CBS from 9 to 11, 3 nights in a row. I've learned a lot about you people and about life.
Today at noon, a look back at America in the 1960s. Ken O'Brien welcomes author Milton Dorst as they review and analyze the turbulent decade. How great an impression of it out today at noon.
If you would like to see our show, write to us, care of tickets, Dinah and Friends, 5800 Sunset Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 90028. Speaking for Dinah and Friends, this is Johnny Gilbert.